Hi guys and welcome back. If you thought 2020 was an unpredictable year, you probably were not paying attention. For over a decade, epidemiologists have sounded the warning that a once in a hundred years pandemic could ravage the planet and that even the most advanced nations were ill prepared for the fallout. In 2021, we will face challenges both familiar and unforeseen, but we will also see shoots of rejuvenation as the world thaws from lockdown. Here are some predictions of how the next year will play out. $50 per barrel price of oil at the end of 2021. Even with a full economic recovery, demand won't reach pre-COVID levels as the work from home crowd continues to avoid business travel and commuting. Demand from emerging markets will keep prices from crashing outright. College is under threat. Life on campus will look more normal again next fall. But colleges will be far from free of their financial woes, up against declining enrollment and a steep drop in international students, state budget shortfalls, and an economic crisis. Small private colleges and second-tier state schools will struggle to survive. Don't expect institutions to save themselves by slashing tuition. They will try to stay competitive with generous financial aid. But as always, the average college sticker price will increase. Trump TV. Surely, the president is having trouble letting go of the Oval Office, but wait until he sees the TV set recreation. If there's one thing Donald Trump is good at, it's entertainment. His rallies captivated our nation, and before that, his reality TV show was a runaway hit. In 2021, Trump will partner with One American News Network, already a mouthpiece for the president, for a primetime show that will stick it to Fox News. He will go head-to-head against Sean Hannity in the 9 p.m. slot and steal away Laura Ingraham to serve as his TV whip. Bitcoin sinks but remains a treasure. Bitcoin will hit an all-time high of $50,000 next year, right before, as usual, crashing. But when the dust settles, the price of the cryptocurrency will sustain around $20,000. More investors will flock to the so-called digital gold, largely as hedge nation inflation, as regulators finally approve a Bitcoin ETF. A folding phone succeeds. The first folding smartphones had a few things in common besides trying to combine the portability of a phone with the larger display of a tablet. They were powerful but delicate and rather expensive, ranging from Motorola's $1,500 Razr to Samsung's $2,000 Galaxy Z Fold. But companies like Motorola, Xiaomi, and Samsung are relentless at pushing high-end features down to entry-level models, just as they did with OLED screens and 5G modems. Expect at least one of them to offer a folding phone selling for just 3 figures in 2021. Brexit food shortages. Although it is now belatedly spending $1 billion to build new border infrastructure, the UK's preparations for Brexit remains incomplete. Expect miles-long lines of trucks at UK and French ports, and the very real possibility of food and medicine shortages. Boris Johnson's out. Boris Johnson may have once prevaricated about Brexit, but his political identity is now bound to it. British businesses will soon learn the reality of the project, and it is unlikely to go well. Expect Johnson's premiership to meet an early end. China vaccinates the world. In 2021, Chinese vaccine makers will supply more vaccines globally than Western firms. Chinese companies currently in phase 3 trials are focusing on technologies that won't require as much cold storage capacity as mRNA vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna, increasing the likelihood that developing countries will be able to support importing and distributing them. Hottest year on record. Surface temperatures across 2020 indicated it was in the running to beat 2016's inauspicious record, and 2021 could be worse still. That's despite global lockdowns that kept cars off the roads and shut down factories, but emissions are cumulative. and temperatures don't drop on 1 year alone. Virtual doctor visits are here to stay. Telemedicine was always the wave of the future. The COVID pandemic just hastened its arrival. As hospitals remain overwhelmed with coronavirus patients, many medical centers have had to cut back on procedures that take place on site. CVS and subsidiary Aetna beefed up discounts for telehealth visits during the outbreak, and the total market could near $25 billion in the US alone by 2027. Don't expect this wave to crest post-pandemic. Vaxxers beat out anti-vaxxers narrowly. With promising candidates from Pfizer and Moderna, medical experts say they expect widespread distribution of coronavirus vaccines by the middle of 2021. But persuading people to get one is its own challenge. Polls have fluctuated but suggests only 50% to 58% of people will definitely get vaccinated. New summer of love. After a year of social distancing and staying indoors, while watching death tolls take up over the winter, young Americans need a release. The widespread distribution of a COVID-19 vaccine will coincide with the summer of 2021, just in time for parks across the country to turn into full-on party zones. Jeff Bezos buys an NFL team. Many thought it would happen in 2019 or 2020, but in 2021, Bezos finally uses his fortune to get a hold of one of the most valuable franchises in sports, whether it's the nearby Seattle Seahawks or the Washington football team. Either way, he will cough up a record amount for a sports franchise of any type, and the Mark Cuban comparisons will abound. Black CEOs running Fortune 500 companies. There are currently just 4 black men and no black women running Fortune 500 companies, and one of them will retire in March. We expect modest but meaningful change on that front next year. 3 black CEOs will be hired, including 1 woman. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe this channel.